Blasting your bike along some single track in the dark with just a tunnel of light in front of you is one of the coolest things you can do on a mountain bike. And now that we're reaching the sort of season with the darker nights, you really should consider going out for some night rides with your mates. Honestly, it's one of the most fun things you'll do on a mountain bike. So with that in mind, this is our guide to night lights, how to set them up and everything you need to know about them. So before you go spending your hard-earned cash on the brightest possible lights, just take into account what you're actually going to use them for first. And of course, there are two major things you need to consider when buying lights. So firstly, there's the lumens that they provide, and that refers to how bright the actual light is. And then the burn time, which is of course how long they last. If you're just commuting to work, college, school or whatever, you can get away with some pretty basic lights with say 100 lumen output. But bear in mind, as bright as they will be, they're predominantly based on visibility. So that means for other road users and traffic users to be able to see you. They won't enable you to actually see anything on the trail. Now, depending how serious you are about your off-road riding, you can sort of pick your lights to cater for that. So if it's a bit of towpath use and maybe some forestry roads, you can get away with a light around 750 lumens. Personally, I'd be 1500 and upwards, and really if you're a serious off-road rider you're going to need a bit more kit than that, and really the brightest lights are going to be the best. So if commuting and some basic off-road riding sounds like you, what you really need to have is a rear light of some kind in your arsenal. Whether you mount that on your bike or your bag is your choice, but make sure it's nice and bright, it's always clean so it can be seen by road users and stuff. And make sure it's always charged as well, because when it's out back you're not necessarily going to know if it fails, so just keep an eye on that. And then your other thing, you're going to need a bar mounted light. So a bar mounted light like this is 1500 lumens, it's an exposure Diablo. It charges nice and fast in 3 hours, so it's going to do most things that you need to do. However, if you're a really serious off-road rider, then you're going to need to change things up a little, and having a light like this, actually you want to put this on your helmet and you want to have a bigger main beam light on your bars like this. So this is a 6-pack, also by exposure, and this is a staggering 4750 lumens. This is like nearly having like your full beams on your car aiming down the trail. Okay, well let's look at the handlebars first. So this should be your main power light. The position of the bars enables the light to go in a place where it's going to look really far down the trail. That's your main sort of floodlight. And because of the nature of mountain biking compared to road riding, say, you're going to be doing lots of undulations, steep turns and stuff. And what that means is you're going to have a lot of blind spots. So having a helmet light is where you can pick up those blind spots. So a helmet light doesn't have to be anywhere near as powerful as your bar mounted light. That is your main, that's your main daddy really for all of the light power. This is purely just to spot out when you're going around tight turns, just to make sure that you can have that stuff illuminated. Okay, so what about only running a helmet light? Well, you could do that, but the trouble is to get a light that's powerful enough to just run your helmet, you're going to be kind of suffering here. So some designs like this one don't have a separate battery pack, it's all built into one. So to get a light powerful enough to do that to go on your helmet, it's going to weigh a lot. And really, if you've got a light just on your helmet, you're going to run into some other issues out on the trail. So what you probably don't realise when you're riding is you actually move your head a hell of a lot. You're moving around the whole time, your eyes darting around the trail. If your only light source is on your head, you're going to find that quite dizzying because your main beam is going to be darting around everywhere. And it also means if you do look down or look to the side, you're going to have huge black spots everywhere where you can't see, and that actually makes your riding quite a lot slower. So with the main beam on your bike, you've always got light in your peripheral, whatever you're doing on the bike. You've always got a light in your head to light up your black spots. You've always got your main beam. That is the best way for off-road riding at night. So once you've selected the lights you're going to use, you need to get them set up properly on the bike. So we're going to look at the bike mount setup and we're going to look at the helmet mount setup. Both do different things and you've got to get them set up correctly, otherwise you won't be able to ride as fast as you want at night time. As you can see with the bar mounted light here, it's actually facing quite far down. So although there is quite a light bright beam coming off the light itself, it's actually illuminating a big shadow on the ground here from a front wheel. And I can see the front wheel as well, which is almost kind of off-putting. This is quite bright. So what you really want to be doing is having the light facing way further down the trail. Now again, it depends on how fast you're intending on riding, but you want the beam to at least be sort of 20 foot in front of you, so you can actually, your perception of speed will work properly. You know, you're going to understand how fast things are coming towards you, where they are and stuff. So just aiming the light further down the trail, it changes everything. So initially right in front of me, there isn't really any light at all, but you don't need that, because by the time the obstacle gets to you, you've already decided how you're going to do that. And then of course there's your helmet mount. So depending on the brand of light you use, they're going to mount in different ways to your helmet. So you want them to be as central as possible on the top of your head, so it's quite well balanced. It doesn't want to pull your helmet too far either way. And then you can just slide the light along its mount to the correct position. So if I just turn on my helmet light here, you can see this will take care of immediately what's in front of me when I'm looking around, but you've got your main light looking all the way down the tunnel. So this is the ideal sort of setup for your off-road riding. So you've got your lights, you've got them set up, you're ready to go night riding, almost. The most important thing that you really need to take into account is the burn time of your lights. You need to read your manuals for the relevant lights you've got and understand how long you can run your lights for at maximum power, how long you can run them for at minimum power, and what the signs are when the power starts deteriorating. Some lights will dim, some will flash. They all have slightly different features built into them for safety reasons. You absolutely have to know when they're going to go, and you have to plan your ride accordingly. It's not the same as going riding during the daytime. Night riding does have to be a little bit more regimented. And speaking of that, you have to make sure that you have a route that you know as well, especially if venturing out for the first time. No point going out for a mountain bike off-road ride at night, the first time you're doing it, and not really knowing where you're going and how far it's going to take you away from city lights or anything like that. It's a really good idea to plan a slightly shorter route than your normal sort of ride, let's say an hour, and make sure that you know along that way there's a get out point, so you can get out and get under the safety of street lights if your lights do run out. Also with night riding, make sure you tell someone where you're going, when you're going, and when you expect to be back. Night riding's really good fun, but it can be really dangerous, because if your lights fail or you crash in the woods, you could be stranded and no one's going to be able to find you that doesn't know you're there. So that was our introduction to lights and how you get lights set up correctly on your bike for night riding. Hopefully you guys are going to get out there and do some night riding yourselves. Let us know in the comments below if you do get up to that. Really want to hear about it. Click on the globe to subscribe here in the middle. There's a brand new video every single day. And for some more advice on great videos to watch, if you haven't seen Martin Ashton's amazing video from Whistler, well, firstly, where have you even been? Secondly, watch it again down here. It's absolutely amazing. And if you're looking for some really cool trailside hacks, here's 10 of the best hacks you can do with cable ties right here. And of course, if you like the video, as always, give us a thumbs up.